In the heart of Enugu, near a bustling road lined with cars, okadas, and people hustling about their daily business, there stood a small food canteen run by a woman named Nkem. Every morning, Nkem would wake up before dawn, cook her meals, and arrange her small store in preparation for the day's business. Her food was delicious. She made the best jollof rice and pepper soup in the area. Yet, for some reason, customers rarely came to her shop. She would spend the whole day watching as other vendors on the street sold all their food, while hers remained untouched. This had been the pattern for over a year now, and Nkem was growing tired, frustrated, and disillusioned. Every night, she returned home with leftovers, wondering how she would pay the rent or buy ingredients for the next day's meals. She couldn't understand why the customers weren't coming. She worked hard, she cooked well, but it never seemed enough. One day, while sweeping the front of her shop and trying to drown out the noisy sounds of traffic, Nkem saw a familiar face walking down the street, a face she hadn't seen in years. It was Chika, her old friend from secondary school. Chika was a vibrant woman, always full of life, but what caught Nkem's attention was how different she looked now. She was draped in expensive clothes, her hair neatly braided in intricate patterns, and she carried a designer handbag that Nkem knew was beyond her reach. Chika looked successful, confident, and wealthy. Nkem felt a pang of envy creeping into her heart as she watched her old friend. How had Chika managed to become so successful while she was still stuck, struggling with her food canteen? She quickly put down her broom and called out, "Chika, is that you?" Chika stopped, turned, and then broke into a wild smile. "Nkem, long time. How are you?" They hugged each other warmly, the memory of their school days flooding back. After some small talk, Chika glanced at Nkem's canteen and asked, "How is business?" Nkem sighed deeply, her face betraying the weariness she felt inside. "My sister, business had been rough. I've been here for a year now and still I can't seem to attract customers. Every day is the same story. I go home with unsold food. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, oh." Chika nodded sympathetically but remained quiet. Nkem hesitated for a moment before asking the question that had been burning inside her. "Chika, you look good. You seem to be doing well for yourself. How did you make it? Please, my sister, tell me, I need help." Chika's expression shifted, becoming guarded. "Nkem, it's not something I can easily explain, no. Please, I'm begging you," Nkem said, her voice desperate. "I can't continue like this. I have rent to pay, children to feed. Please, I need a way out." Chika bit her lip, unsure of what to say. She glanced around nervously, then leaned in closer. "Nkem, I don't think you want to know how I became successful." Nkem's curiosity grew. "Why not? Please, whatever it is, just tell me. I'm ready to do anything to change my situation, my sister." Chika hesitated for a long moment, then finally sighed. "Okay, but you have to promise me that you will never tell anyone what I'm about to show you. No one. Do you understand?" "I promise," Nkem said quickly, her eye wild with hope. "I won't tell you so." With that, Chika glanced around again to make sure no one was watching, then said quietly, "There is a man, a powerful man. He lives deep in the forest, outside the city. People say he has the power to change lives, to make people wealthy beyond their imagination, but the price is high, oh." Ikem's heart raised. She had heard of such things before. Old men in the forest, strange rituals, and unexplainable wealth. But she didn't care. She was desperate. Take me to him, Ikem pleaded. Please. Chika sighed, knowing what Ikem was getting herself into. I'll take it tomorrow, but remember, there is no turning back once you agree to his terms, so... The next day, Chika led Ikem into the forest. They walked for hours, the thick canopy of trees casting eerie shadows as they made their way through the dense undergrowth. Ikem's heart pounded in her chest, but she pushed her fear aside, driven by the thought of finally escaping poverty. At last, they arrived at a small run-down hut in the middle of the forest. An old man sat outside, his eyes cloudy with age, yet his presence was intimidating. He barely moved as they approached, as if he had been expecting them. Chika whispered to Ikem, "This is Baba." The old man raised his hand, signaling for them to stop. His voice was low, almost a whisper, but it carried power. "What do you seek, child?" he asked, his gaze fixed on Ikem. Ikem swallowed hard and replied, "Baba, I need wealth. I need customers for my food canteen." Baba nodded slowly. "I can give you what you seek, but you must be willing to pay the price, my daughter. Once you agree, there is no going back." "I will do anything," Ikem said, her voice trembling but firm. Baba looked deep into her eyes, as if searching her soul. "Very well," he said. "From now on, you must use your own blood. Each month, when your time comes, you will take your sanitary pad and cook with them. The blood will give your food a special power, and the people will come flocking to your canteen. But you must never stop. You must never tell anyone the source of your success. If you do, everything will fall apart, and you will face consequences worse than poverty." Ikem was horrified, but she was too desperate to turn back. She nodded in agreement. The first time Ikem followed Baba's instructions, she was disgusted with herself. She cried as she prepared the food, using her sanitary pad just as Baba had said. But as the food cooked, a strange thing happened. Its aroma was more enticing than ever before. Even Ikem could hardly believe how delicious it smelled. That day, for the first time in months, her canteen was packed. People from all over the neighborhood came, drawn by the irresistible smell of her food. They ate and praised her cooking, saying it was the best they had ever tasted. Word spread quickly, and soon people were coming from far and wide to eat at Ikem's canteen. In just a few weeks, Ikem's life changed. Her canteen was always full, and she was making more money than she had ever dreamt of. She bought a new house, new clothes, and even a car. The envy that had once filled her heart was now directed at her. Other vendors on the street whispered about her sudden success, but no one knew the secret behind it. But despite her newfound wealth, Ikem couldn't shake the sense of dread that hung over her. Each month, when she followed Baba's instruction, she felt more and more trapped. The success that had brought her joy now felt like a heavy burden. Months passed and Ikem's canteen continued to thrive, but the pressure of keeping her secret weighed heavily on her. She grew paranoid, fearing that someone might discover the truth. She became isolated, distancing herself from friends and even her family. The wealth she had once longed for felt like a prison. Then one day, Ikem made a mistake. In a moment of weakness, she confided in her younger sister, Adanna. She told her everything: the deal with Baba, the use of her sanitary pads, and the terrible fear that haunted her every night. Adanna was horrified. "Ikem, how could you do such a thing? This is wrong. You have to stop." But it was too late. As soon as Ikem revealed her secret, everything began to unravel. The next day, customers stopped coming to her canteen. The food that had once been irresistible now tasted bland, and the people who had once praised her cooking began to speak ill of it. Ikem knew what was happening. She had broken the rules. She had told someone the truth. Desperate, she returned to the forest to beg Baba for forgiveness. But when she arrived at his hut, it was gone. The forest seemed darker, more menacing than before, and Nkem realized that she was truly alone. Her wealth disappeared as quickly as it had come. She lost everything: her canteen, her house, and her car. She was left with nothing but regret, haunted by the choices she had made. In the end, Nkem learned that wealth gained through darkness came at a price far greater than poverty. And as she walked through the now empty streets, she realized that some secrets were never meant to be told. The end.